Throughout our Uncommitted series, we've exposed troubling gaps in Oregon's mental health system. Our series has shown how people in our legal system who need mental health treatment often cannot get it. Tonight, investigative reporter Evan Watson follows up on his reporting by looking at what happens when someone in jail needs mental health treatment, but there's just nothing available. Evan?
Pat, our previous reporting showed how those high bars, those high standards in Oregon make it difficult to force someone to get mental health treatment when they won't go voluntarily. Tonight, a story of a mother who ended up calling police on her own son in a desperate attempt to finally get him help. But she found even now that her son is in jail, the system continues to fail him.
Then last we've got State versus Kenneth Richard Benton.
For the fourth straight week, Kenny Benton sits down in this chair. It's his weekly fitness to proceed hearing, where a Clatsop County judge decides if Benton is still too mentally ill for his criminal trial. This time, a doctor shares his assessment of Benton from jail.
Mr. Benton is unable to aid and assist and does need restorative services. If untreated, his mental health condition would continue to deteriorate.
As the doctor shares a diagnosis of schizophrenia, anxiety, and mental disorders, Kenny Benton interrupts.
I know that I'm not a schizophrenic in any way, shape, or form. It needs to be reevaluated if that's the case. It doesn't matter if
Mr. Benton.
It's a fully virtual hearing. At the top of the screen is Kristen Benton, Kenny's mom, the newly appointed guardian for her adult son, and his biggest advocate for a release to a secure facility for mental health treatment. She's spent each day of the past 2 months trying to find solutions for her son. Last year, she watched as his mental health fell apart at her home in Astoria. She says her son was on anxiety medication, but his doctor's office closed, and he couldn't get his prescription refilled. Then she says he spiraled into psychosis from there.
He started eating raw meat. He was urinating out the window in his room, which was totally not him, burning things. He was just out of his mind and getting worse.
Kristen Benton describes her son as soft-hearted, creative, funny, and intelligent. 3 times, she called county behavioral health teams to come out and evaluate Kenny's mental health crises. But Kenny turned down treatment, and mental health workers said they couldn't do anything. That's what made it so tough when Kristen Benton found her son throwing a kitchen knife in the air.
I called the police because I thought this knife is going to go right through him. You know, I could hear it, go shoo, shoo, shoo in the air.
So you felt an arrest was your only option?
The only option to get help here is and have someone be in a safe spot to save your family and them is to be in jail. And to get them out of jail, once you find a resource, is almost impossible.
Impossible because everyone, from judges to lawyers to doctors to families, seems to know there's nowhere to send someone like Kenny for treatment, even when they're in custody. Nan Waller is a Multnomah County Circuit Court judge who handles the mental health docket. She says incompetency cases are increasing each year, upwards of 5,000 people a year in Oregon now, and judges lack options for people who can't aid and assist with their own trials.
I don't think there's any disagreement across the board of any of the parties involved that we don't have adequate numbers of placements in our communities to prevent as many people as we would like to prevent going to the state hospital.
The Oregon State Hospital is the state's psychiatric treatment facility for people with severe mental illness, but it's full. Out of 699 beds in Salem and Junction City, 97% are occupied. In any given month, more than 100 people like Kenny Benton are waiting for a spot, often while their mental health deteriorates in jail. The state of Oregon is also out of compliance with the MINC order, a federal ruling requiring OSH to admit patients under aid and assist orders within 7 days. Wait times currently average close to 40 days. So each week, a circuit court judge writes that Benton is waiting for transport to the Oregon State Hospital. The only thing that changes are updates on the efforts of Kenny's mom. She paid for the doctor to evaluate her son, and she spent weeks trying to get Kenny to Unity Center for Behavioral Health in Portland for treatment.
These court documents mention that Kenny's mom, guardian, is working on a solution. What does it say to you?
I'm the one working on a solution.
Right, so what does it say to you that this system hinges on your efforts?
I think it's broken. I think it's There's not enough facilities. There's not enough residential programs. There's not enough support.
Back in court, Kenny says he doesn't want to be transported to Unity and asks to be released.
I have a daughter who just started speaking recently. She had delayed speech issues, and I missed it.
A 3-year-old girl named Cade, who's now living at her grandma's house. This is Kristen's favorite video of Kenny holding his daughter when Cade was just a baby.
She's just starting to talk. She said, "Daddy's sick," and she looked out the window and she started crying. She doesn't know where he is. She doesn't know what's happened to him.
It's tough because Kristen Benton knows she's the one who called police.
It was just, I was alone doing it. I'm still a little bit alone here doing it with the court system.
It was a kitchen knife. It wasn't a legal
Mr.
weapon.
Benton, please, we're not trying to talk about the facts.
Mom, please help me. Please help me, Mom. They're trying to f me over here. Bad.
The judge asks Kenny Benton if he would be willing to go to Unity for treatment.
Do you understand the two avenues that this case can go down at the moment? It's either the state hospital or a stay at Unity and taking medications voluntarily.
Kenny doesn't agree.
I'm going to ask you very calmly, can you reconsider this based on what you know about me, truly? Can you can you just see that I'm not a crazy person, I'm not a danger to myself or anybody else? Can you consider that and we can reconvene?
I want you to think very carefully about the question that I'm going to ask you next week, but I will see you back next Monday at 10:30. And we will finish this discussion then. So that is all for now.
No, wait. Okay, wait.
Nope, that's all for now, Mr. Benton.
Evan joins me now. I know you've been following this super close. Any update on Kenny's case today?
Yes, well, as of last Monday, the judge had ordered Kenny to go to Unity for treatment. But then in the last week, Unity said they couldn't guarantee his admission, his spot there. So the judge and the jail won't send him to Unity. Within that week time frame as well, his time to go to the Oregon State Hospital came up. And that was put on hold or bypassed because these Unity plans were in place. So now, as of today, they're trying to figure out if they can go back to the state hospital plan or see what's happening. At a hearing this morning, I talked to the mom earlier, his mom, Kristen Benton, earlier today.
This, I'm sure, has just got the mom just tied up in knots. It would make any of us so frustrated because it's like the bureaucrats can't get the whole thing figured out. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm. And it's representative of, he's just one case of this, right? Yeah. But there are dozens, if not more than hundreds each month of people going through aid and assist cases like this, and the capacity isn't there for treatment, for mental health treatment. And it's something that is called on many, many times. We need more like that. But if aid and assist, which is the state's priority right now for treatment to get people into the Oregon State Hospital, if that's not even getting the people in that need be, think about civil commitment like we've covered, those other types of cases that are even lower down that pecking order. There's just not the options out there.
It's a huge backlog, which is why we see some of those folks sadly out on our streets, right?
Yeah, exactly, Pat.
Thanks for keeping a light on this. Appreciate it. This was the latest installment in our series Uncommitted, where Evan explores the way that Oregon's mental health care system is failing the people who need it to help them. You can watch our other stories right now on KGW Plus or on our KGW YouTube channel. And we know the Benton family isn't the only one going through this. If you'd like to share your story, we're here to listen. Send us an email. You can send it to thestory@kgw.com or leave us a voicemail, 503-226-5090. We want to be part of what we can do to be part of the solution.